to the Sad Dads Club podcast. Here's everybody's favorite sad dads, Jim and Foo.
Rock and roll.
We're getting in the groove now.
Did anyone message you about finally having the show ready?
No.
Me neither.
All 8 of them just
Yeah.
were like, we're taking it, I guess.
Whatever.
Whatever you guys give us, that's what we're taking.
You'll see my views when I decide to see my views. For you anyway listening. What?
The one person that complained to me, I said, well, you can complain when
Yeah.
you're paying for it.
Yeah. Hashtag Ulanzi.
Not a sponsor.
Not a sponsor.
Fuckers.
Not a sponsor.
There is one sponsor we have, though. It's AJA Video Systems.
Absolutely. All equipment for video production has been donated by the AJA Video Systems.
If you guys could see this rack full of video gear I have over here just to make this show possible on YouTube.
If you've ever wondered what an example of a shotgun to kill a mosquito would look like with regards to 2 dingbats in a garage recording video for a podcast.
It's like Top Fuel Funny Car sitting over here.
Oh, yeah.
And we're like, I've got my license for my Ford Escort.
Yeah. Who wants another dick joke in 4K?
Exactly. Yeah, but who gets the job done? Most of the time. When we're not breaking cables.
When the 2 morons aren't sitting on the cat cables or fucking the intern isn't fat fingering his Final Cut build or whatever.
Right.
Hey, welcome to the Sad Dads Club podcast episode. Nope, not prepared. 325, 326,
something like that.
300 something. I'm the Lord Foo.
I'm Jim. Yeah.
It's bonus season.
Is it?
Or end of year review season.
Oh, for you?
Yeah.
See, we have our reviews in like August, and then bonuses come. If we get bonuses, they're going to be early December-ish.
You know what I noticed? This year more than others. I'm not quite sure why I decided to pay attention more. Maybe it's because I'm trying to.
Because you got a bonus.
Yeah, no.
You got
not yet.
You got enough money to pay attention.
Yeah, right. I'm trying to do better about paying attention to like financial news. As one does when they get older. And
isn't it too late for that?
Yeah. Perhaps I have missed my mark, but I'm just trying to see.
Yeah.
As we transition new leadership for the country, I'm trying to get a gauge on where we're at and then be prepared for comparing and contrasting what comes with net new policies and where we are.
You know what it feels like to me? Is like I'm like at the point where with the 401k that because it's very heavy stocks, that at some point you should transition that to cash and just then like when you're getting new pay, right? Then you're buying new stock at that point. And then that stock is going to be growing. But now you're protecting what the stock has done by putting it in cash because that's not going to lose value. It's only going to grow. It's not dependent on the market. Right, because it's cash now.
Right,
but it's gonna earn a steady percentage, but not gonna be as volatile as because I'll go. It's not like I'm looking at my 401k and saying when can I cash out. I just want to know what it's doing. So on occasion I'll pop in there and I'll notice all of a sudden it's down $5,000 and you're like, fuck, I just lost $5,000 in like 3 weeks or whatever it was since the last time I checked. And that I would, if a majority of that was in cash, at least it would have been protected from any dip.
Where would you keep all that cash?
Well, it would just sit in as like a savings account.
Oh, and earn interest off of a savings.
Right,
I got you.
It's still part of your 401k. You've just sold that as stock, all the stocks out.
I don't know enough to speak on alternate methods and tax deferments on like Roth stuff and IRA stuff and 401k stuff, so that it gets hard to whether or not, if you were to pull something from your 401k and just put it in savings, No.
I'm not saying pulling it from your 401k.
Oh.
I'm saying sell the stock that you own in your 401k, and just the 401k holds it as cash.
Oh.
So, because you can do that, right? In
Yeah.
your 401k, you can go, oh, I want to take some of this money and just buy XYZ stock, and then buy 100 shares of XYZ stock.
I see what you're saying.
So you can trade that stuff, right?
You want to liquidate the portion of your 401k that stocks and just
not all of it, but
right. I mean, yes,
yeah, part of it.
That's part of it goes so that way
it's protected.
If there's
the
a
market
swing,
yeah,
the pie chart chunk that's representative by
percentage
stocks,
yes,
and Wall Street shit is now
diminished
because you have the bulk of it in a cash.
Yeah.
I got you.
Now it's going to earn a much smaller percentage. Like it's
sure.
That's a very safe thing to do.
Yeah,
is to just put it in as cash money.
Mm-hmm.
But then you're not going to be fluctuating wildly based on what the market is doing.
Mm.
And we saw that a few years ago when the market tanked quite a bit, and we were both all, oh, that wasn't good.
I mean, you and I have seen it.
Yeah,
probably 2 or 3 times.
Yeah,
there was the housing crisis. That was a dump.
Right.
And then, COVID was a dunk.
Right.
Everything
tanked.
Took a dive at COVID.
Right.
I thought there was a third one in there somewhere.
There probably was.
There's been some dips since somewhere in between those. Was there one in the tail end of Obama's? Anyway.
There was, because I remember a coworker named Algie that I worked with, and he was talking about how bad his 401k stuff tanked and how much money he lost just because the market took a shit. And that happened to be around the time when he was going to be retiring. So it's like just luck of the draw.
Oh, 9/11.
Oh, yeah. But I mean, just luck of the draw for him was like, I'm going to be retiring. Oh, here's the tank in the market, and it just lost 50% or whatever it was.
Oh, man.
And so he lost quite a bit of his value.
Mm.
His number of shares didn't go down, just the value of those shares.
Right.
So, if you had moved half of that into cash, at least that would have been protected, and you would have only lost maybe a quarter.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like you never know what's going to happen.
Yeah.
You could buy a house and have the house values completely tanked.
Right.
You spend $600,000 on a house and have it like in 6 months be worth $400,000, and then you're upside down and you'll never sell it until it comes back up. So, everything's a guessing game.
Yeah.
But there are ways that you can protect it. But the problem is that if you do that, you're missing out on the potential benefits of the market really going nuts.
Right. It's double-edged.
Right.
Yes.
You're going to earn very small percentage.
Safety versus risk and high reward, but also high drawbacks.
Right.
The news that I was catching was, I think this is one of those advents of the generation really under us, but also probably us, and the ability to disseminate and share through social media. There was a whole article about most of the financial institutions are going into their end-of-year reviews and bonus season. And I went, oh yeah. That used to be just one of those things that was kind of like, you don't really talk about it. You don't, I'm not quite sure why, but it just seemed like every tail end of the year, the bottom rungs, you don't really talk about bonuses because you don't want to jinx it, kind of a thing. Or
presume.
Right.
Yeah.
you never know, so we hope when we get to the year end that the company has done well enough for bonuses for everybody. So you just don't talk about it, and you're kind of like hoping and wishing and waiting, and is it? And you don't want to rock the boat, and you don't want to say anything because if you said something, you jinx it.
So what you're saying is the news makes it sound like the bonuses are a given. Is that what you're getting at? Like that's part of the business now.
Yes, that too, and it's clear that people in the industry at the end of the stick of the bonus are speaking to reporters about this period and time is coming. Like the end of the year comes this week and the next week after. Managers of most financial firms are giving end of year review scores to their directs, and then somewhere in the next 2 to 3 weeks after that is bonus season. And then the article goes on to talk about how well most of the financial institutions are doing. And that in and of itself,
because the rates are higher.
They may be, but the employees would certainly expect that. It's like, if you're internalizing those entire conversations within the company or not at all because you don't want to, you were critical of last year's bonus, and somehow that means that someone can make a slighter adjustment to yours because you're just a dick. Or, remember that time?
Nice one, buddy.
Yeah. You're going to get 6.7%, and I'm going to give Johnny over here 7.4 because you were just jawing all last year about your bonus and fucking whatever. So you don't really say anything. But what this means is not only that some people are talking to like get it out into the people that make the moves as far as like what's the sentiment of the workers behind the companies that are being traded on Wall Street, but then some of these reporters and analysts for these financial articles are then coupling, here's what's coming and the employees are hoping for, and it's always an uneasy thing with analysis, a yearly breakdown of how well the companies did, which then as a person at the end of the stick who's hoping for a bonus, if you're looking externally at a news article that says
bonuses are coming,
Bank XYZ is about ready to start delivering bonuses. Expectations are that the employees will get bonuses this year, which probably would be rightly so because Bank A met and did profit XYZ. Shares went up, year over year. Things were up this year. It becomes a very different conversation when, say, in a week or 2 weeks from reading such an article, your manager says, "Yeah, well, man, bonuses. If you've ever had the talk of a manager trying to downplay whatever your number, if you get a number, is, because anyone's probably heard the jargon, like, we just didn't do well this year, or, this is all we had to give based off of something. But now you can see that someone's basically telling you, the bank did better than it did ever before. So it makes that conversation.
So somehow someone outside the bank seems to know how well the bank has done.
Well, I mean, it's Wall Street. So, everyone's going to know what deposits are. They have to share all of their financial disclosures. So you could see share value over the year. You can see, it's all regulated. So all that stuff has to be above board. So when you know that someone is almost giving employees the context of, well, this is what your bonus number probably should be this year. And a manager is then going to your face, give you I know it's not as big as last year, but that's, we struggled with something XYZ, and we just didn't hit some of our deliverables this year. It makes it I would imagine, hypothetically, a harder pill to swallow when you know
that guy said
we actually did fucking well this year. What are you talking about? Why are you trying to sell me? Like, don't fucking con me. Just say that you gave it to a C-suite douchebag.
I think it's weird when you use the term deliverables when in reference to a bank, right? Because a bank loans money out or pays interest on checking and savings accounts.
Right. Well, when I speak, I'm talking like my job. I have deliverables in solving or
I see
problems or getting
team deliverable kind of thing.
Team specifically deliverables like success.
I thought you meant like deliverables as in products. I mean,
you
guys do have products.
Yeah, shut your whore mouth and enjoy the free credit card someone signed you up for, asshole.
Yeah, and the 3 accounts that someone needed.
Hey, you needed them, and it
you didn't know it, but.
I never saw those benefits anyway. Like, if someone's going to do shady shit, why don't I? No, I never saw anything. Fucking.
I mean, I'm in the private sector, so
this was one of the
first. It's different for us.
The first, like I think social media is like trying. It's almost, in this case, it's creating an advocacy for the little guy, that when those talks happen and someone's in your face trying to convey, oh man, it allows you to almost call bullshit on, like, listen, just tell me no, or it's low because we got fucked. And I'd be like, I would much rather honesty than you try and tell me, man, we just didn't deliver enough in profits and our margins were bullshit. I just read an article from Business Insider that said we fucking nailed it. Stock went up 4 points yesterday because we closed Q4 with amazeball stats, and we're looking at getting the fucking asset cap release.
It's because everyone's going back to the office.
Right. RTO, baby.
So what I was saying was, it's different for me.
Oh, yeah.
Because it's a private company.
You're private.
So no one outside of Dave and the executive team at AJA would know what
where you're doing as far as business. Yeah.
What the actual breakdown. Right. Now, Dave does do these every 4 to 6 months sort of like updates for everybody, and he'll do in person or email. He'll send like a really long email. Mm-hmm. So that's kind of a interesting bit. We get to learn about what's happening throughout the company in different regions that we're not necessarily involved in. Mm-hmm. But when it comes to bonus time, it's typically like an email from Dave that says, we did pretty good this year. Mm-hmm. There will be bonuses. Mm-hmm. And it's not expected. It's a bonus. Right.
Oh yeah.
So from my standpoint, it's like, oh, awesome. I'm happy to have a bonus.
Sure.
You know what I mean? And that will fluctuate based on, I assume, how we did.
How well the company does. Yeah.
So, a little bit different, and you never know.
Yeah.
What it's going to be.
I am one of those people. It sounds like I'm same perspective view. Even from the start of my career with Wells, which was First Union, once I was full time, the concept of the bonus was always you don't count. It's a bonus. You do not count on it.
No.
Man, if you get one, it's gravy. Yeah. And whatever that is, whatever value it is, thank you. I appreciate that. Like, I busted my ass, and I'm glad as a whole for the company, we did well enough for me to get something that was extra.
Right.
Like, that is always, I'm probably one of the easiest persons on the team.
I'm here for my salary.
Yeah. On the team to have that conversation with. Like, plenty of in my 26 something years here, I have had plenty of conversations where that call has started with, so, hey, so this is what we have. Like, you can tell by the tone that the person conveying the number is already working from a defensive or please don't hurt me kind of
disappointment.
Right. And it is always one of probably the quickest calls that my managers have probably ever had with anyone that they have to do those numbers with. Like, well, cool. Thank you. I appreciate it. I have never, well, it's lower than last year.
Right.
Like, I've gotten higher before. Like, what happened? Like, it's always a thank you. I appreciate it. Some is better than none. I count on nothing. This is always frosting on the cake.
Right.
So, but some people do treat it like I'm due. Like, where's mine?
Now, I will say this. The movie Christmas Vacation.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
The whole thing about that movie is Clark. We're talking about a fictional movie.
Sure.
But Clark is the whole premise is that he was going to put a pool in.
Yes.
When I get my Christmas bonus, or if I get my Christmas bonus, I've put money down on a pool. I had to write a check so that I could get the hole dug when the ground thawed.
Right.
And I don't have enough money in my account to cover the check I wrote.
Yeah.
And then the family comes, and it turns out that he got enrolled in the Jelly of the Month Club for the Christmas bonus. That was what the courier comes to the door, and he's like, "Oh, this fell between the seats and I didn't see it. I'm sorry, Mr. or whatever, he says." So he gives it to him, and he's like telling his family he hasn't opened it yet. With this bonus, because he thinks it's a bonus.
Right.
With this bonus, I'm going to put a pool in and I'll fly everybody. So this is how much money he's talking about. He's potentially getting, which it sounds like a very large chunk of change. But he's going to fly everybody out and inaugurate the pool and all this shit. And I had to write a check that I couldn't cover to get him to come out and dig when the ground thawed. And he opens it, and it's a enrollment into the Jelly of the Month Club.
Right.
And I always thought that was absolutely crazy bonkers.
Yes.
Because he even says in there, because Cousin Eddie goes and gets his boss from Melody Lane at his house.
Right.
And brings him there. And he goes off on his boss about, or is it, I don't know if he goes off on his boss, but he goes off at one point about when you count on that as part of your salary.
Right.
It's just a kick in the balls kind of a thing. And I'm like, when I watch that, that's the one part about that movie that does not sit well with me, because it shouldn't be counted on at all.
No, it's a bonus. It's a bonus.
Yeah. Because you may not get one next year,
and I certainly
whatever.
Wouldn't take any action based off.
Oh no, I wouldn't be doing anything based on what I might get.
Yeah,
no, that's not. No,
like
I wouldn't be like putting a down payment on a pool.
Yeah, or, for buying a McLaren.
That always bothered me about that movie.
Some people
love the movie.
He's not like that's not an outlier. I think there are plenty of people that think or work from a perspective that a bonus is another salary check.
Right.
When it's financial stuff, it just moves, and businesses and, stability is just too much of a, like, you can't count on something that is not written as a guaranteed benefit.
Yeah. I'm in the camp of, oh my gosh, thank you so much.
Absolutely. 100%.
I don't know what to say besides thank you. It's super appreciated.
Right.
That's awesome. Like, it's unexpected.
Yeah.
Not like, God damn it. This year it was only this much. Yeah. Last year it was more.
Yeah.
There's none of that.
My son needs a car. Like, I was going to use this. I already bought the car. It's on a lease.
Right.
Like, this was to pay off the, no. Come on now.
Because you don't know if you're going to get it.
Right.
And you definitely don't know if you're going to get it and how much it's going to be.
Right.
So,
No.
I mean, I don't know. When was Christmas Vacation? Did it come out in the 80s?
I think so.
So how much were pools way cheap then?
Yeah, right?
Because, I mean, a pool would have been, now they're like $40,000, $50,000, $60,000.
I don't think you could get anything reasonable, even close to under 30. I think you're spending 40.
So back
40
then, you're probably doing 15 to 20.
I imagine. I don't know.
So how much money was he expecting in his bonus?
Sometimes I got to remember to ask my dad, like, how much our doughboy was.
Doughboys were a couple thousand.
Were they?
Yeah, because we had one.
Okay.
Yeah, we actually had a couple of them. We had a cheap one, and then we got a nicer one.
Yeah.
And then eventually they just put a pool in.
Mm. Oh, built in?
Yeah.
Mm.
So, yeah.
Mm.
And the second one, they kind of went bonkers on because they dug it deep in the center.
Mm-hmm.
So it actually had a deep end, even though it was in the middle.
Right.
So it was deep in the middle, and then they had the redwood deck built up around half of it.
Okay.
Which it turned out really nice.
Yeah.
So like stairs up to it with a redwood deck around it.
Mm-hmm.
And then eventually they were just like, we're putting in a built-in, and that was like right after high school. Sometime after high school. Yeah. They added onto the house and put a pool in the backyard. And that pool was fun.
Well, yeah.
That was a 10-foot deep.
Wow.
It was 10 feet. Yeah.
Nice. Mm.
Anyway. But I can't imagine ever counting on something like that for like
I don't count on it.
No.
You can't count on it.
So yeah, I agree with that 100%.
Did you fix the toilet this weekend?
God damn it. I made the comment, if you had a weekend and you didn't fix the toilet, did you have a weekend?
You're just not living, man.
I'm in the mode where yes, I did. Okay. So the toilet, we talked about this a little bit. This particular toilet has a counter that sits over the top of it.
Right.
So you can't really get your arms down inside there to do the thing. I probably could have done it just because you're unscrewing the filler from the outside. Mm-hmm. And I could have just got it in the hole. But given that the seal, I knew the tank to bowl seal was bad still because it was the same age as my other toilet.
Right.
Which I replaced that seal already. And I had ordered one, so I knew this was coming. And I was like, well, I'm just going to take the whole tank off the toilet. I'm not going to remove the toilet completely, but I'm going to take the tank off the toilet. I'll replace the seal. It got a new flush handle, new filler. And then I think I left the drain part that goes down and that empties into the bowl.
Yeah.
I left that alone because it seemed like it was okay. Mm-hmm. Probably a mistake. But yes, it only took me about an hour and a half.
Yeah. Well, quit your bitching.
But, there's nothing better than laying on the floor next to a toilet and unbolting things and
not having to throw up in it because you didn't get a good time of alcohol imbibement.
Oh gosh. Well, I had been worried had I had alcohol imbibement that I might have broken something or you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it was fine, but also you just don't want to do toilet repairs because they're just a hassle. So yes, it got repaired over the weekend. Well, I think I did that on Saturday. Yeah. I was like, I'm not gonna complain about it though. I'm not gonna drag my feet. We're gonna go get the stuff and I'm just gonna do it.
So both bathrooms are good.
Yeah. Now I will say that the toilet in our bathroom, which I had repaired a few months ago, doesn't have the correct seal.
Okay.
Because it's a Sterling toilet, which is made by Kohler,
Mm-hmm.
and it uses the seal that sits between the tank and the bowl has like a 3 bolt setup.
Okay.
And it's got a very specific seal that goes to it. Well, they don't carry those at Lowe's or Home Depot. So I just bought whatever they had at the time because I needed to get it fixed then.
Mm-hmm.
And then for the other bathroom, I just ordered one. So I had it already. It had been sitting in the garage for a couple of months.
Mm-hmm.
And I kind of feel like I should probably order another one and just fix it correctly.
Yeah.
It's working.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You know?
Mm.
I don't know. Would you do that if it was already working, or would you just be like, screw it, it's working?
I would probably, as long as it's not, I would probably screw it. It's working. Because here's what I'm looking at down the road. I'd be like, I put enough money into this fucker. The next time this thing breaks,
it's a new toilet.
It's a new toilet time. And then I would be using it as an excuse and a reason to get something with a bidet. Because I would be like, you know what? I want to be done with this in one shot. Like, I could get another toilet, but then be sad in 5 years from now when the world goes to shit again and everyone's out of toilet paper. And I went, you know what? I should have bought the fucking toilet that I love at Dave and Nat's that tickles my butthole. # sorry.
Did they buy the whole toilet, or did they buy... Is the bidet separate? I think you can buy those Toto bidets.
I thought their Toto is a all-in-wonder unit toilet doodad, not a add-on to their toilet.
I think pretty much most bidets are not part of the porcelain, right? I think it's just like a thing that at least in my research, they can become very expensive depending on which ones you're buying. But I believe it's like replacing the toilet seat lid and then having power available and the water to it.
Mm.
So that's where, like, a bidet for me, I would love to have a bidet, but I don't have power in that room. So I'd have to put in an outlet off the GFCI switch.
Or a really big anchor. Battery.
But see, it's heating water.
Stick a car battery underneath the vanity.
Yeah, so you can pee on it later.
Just run some 12 volts to your.
I mean, they're heating,
cables.
so which is like the most power hungry thing you can do, which is heat stuff.
Yeah.
And then they're heating the seats, which is another. And I think the water stuff and the electronics are minimal, right? But the
heating
elements is what's going to kill your battery situation. But that said, in my bathroom, on the other side of the wall, there is a GFCI outlet that I can probably pull and run wire down and cut a hole and put an outlet down below.
Oh.
So I could. It's definitely doable for me to put one there.
Yeah.
It's like convincing my wife to spend the money for one
on a nice one. Yeah. Yeah.
That's what I would prefer to have.
If it's working, because I have fixed a toilet and then, a year or change later, like a seal of a thing, like the plunger or the fill sealing, like went south
right
a year later. Like, but I was just here. Like, really? And then that gets dialed in, and then the other toilet, 3 months off of a cycle, like its seal, and it's a slightly different toilet, so the parts aren't the same, so the fixing experience is different, and it puts me in a, like, okay, you know what?
Fuck it, I'm going and buying 2 units.
I'm just going to go buy a toilet. I'm just going to buy a toilet.
Yeah.
And then you're looking at toilet prices, and you're like, at this point would have been probably like pre-COVID when I really wasn't concerned about bidets, but it was a Well, Jesus Christ. Okay, well, it's $19.95 for a new seal thing, or $250. I'm like, okay, well, yeah, this penny pincher in me is like, yeah, just go buy another fucking seal and get your elbows deep into a tank and fix the problem. And so I've kicked the can, but now I'm starting to like, well, what if I, God, I'm just so tired of these cold-ass January mornings.
Well, I mean, if you got an outlet, you can get a heated
I have
seat.
no outlet in... Certainly not in the master bathroom. That would be a problem for you, too, because if you were doing a bidet that heated the water and heated the seat or whatever... Yes, that would be...
You would have to put an outlet
I would have to put an outlet in. Or, running an extension cord.
Under the floor, under the door.
Up through the cabinet. And a big yellow fucker, like right into the thing. Yeah, I'm sure that would blow all kinds of fucking
code.
Right. And my
violations.
kids wouldn't, I'm just going to drill a hole here in the countertop and just...
Dad, why is there this extension cord coming out of the ceiling fan in my bedroom?
Just trust me. When you go to sit on the crapper and your ass is nice and warm and toasty, I fucking yip every time these last couple of days. My toilet seat is so fucking cold.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, I'll listen for Venus to come in and, like, flush and then leave and go back to, like, her day, when she's working from home. And I'll be like, you know what? Now's the time. That toilet seat is warm. I'm going in. Because if I miss
I'm just imagining the balls tightening up.
Yep. Seriously. Does that not work? Like, as I, lower, I'm like, wait, am I the first one here? I am the first one here. And I just, slowly, wince and,
Get, yourself a small heated blanket that you just put on top of the thing.
Of the toilet?
Yeah. And then, when you go to the bathroom, you just pull it off, and then it's nice, and you just set it back on there. Shanna bought me for Christmas a feet warmer that goes under my desk.
Yeah.
That is electric. And it's just like this big.
Yeah.
But you can put your feet inside it, so it's 2 layers.
Oh, yeah. Like a sleeping bag for your feet with an electric?
Yeah, pretty much.
Is it corded or just battery?
No, it's corded.
Yeah.
But you would have to run an extension.
I'd have to run an extension cord to it.
I mean, you can get a car battery if you want.
I get a car. I got a couple spares. I could just run that shit to the... Yeah, man. Fucking...
I mean, I don't know about the kids' bathroom probably wouldn't get a bidet, but... ours might.
Yeah.
I mean, that's where if I were going to buy a bidet, that's where it would get put, because that would be the toilet. Yeah. Once everybody's finally left the house.
Yeah.
That'd be the toilet that we're
right.
Yeah.
And, if you want to start paying rent, then you can have a bidet. But until then, it's just for dad and mom.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
But her toilet works great now. There's no leaks. Nothing.
Right.
We didn't have
If it clogs up, that's on you, girl.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
It's got a new handle. The handle, it had been replaced because I think Chandler years ago had snapped the original handle.
Oh, yeah.
And so I had replaced it with a new one. And the new one, I was never happy with it. I will say this.
Yes.
The style was shit.
Yep.
I didn't care for it. It was just like, that's as good as it's going to get, I guess. And so I bought it.
Yeah.
And the chrome coating on it started to bubble and shit. And I'm like, what the fuck is that? And so when I finally took it off, the bottom looked all funny. I don't understand.
It's like kids, I'm saying kids, young adult, our generation under us will not know the longevity of metal fucking toilet handles.
I know. Yeah.
That is one of the biggest, one of the first couple things I've replaced. Hey, man, welcome to Toilet Talk. The first couple things I'd replaced were handles that were spinning in the porcelain tank hole, or the arm that was plastic.
That broke. Yeah.
So then I go to...
because what happens is they're flimsy, number one.
Yes.
And then the whoever's using it wants to flush the toilet, and so they slam it down, and then it just fucking snaps.
Yeah, listen.
Yeah.
No, kids.
The one I bought, dude, it was $20 for just the flush part and the arm that goes inside.
Yeah.
Dude, I swear to God, it felt like it was made out of carbon fiber or some shit. It was like very robust.
Was it?
Yeah, I was like, what the shit? Yeah, sure. And it was like a black handle, so it fit all the other stuff in the bathroom. I was like, this is the shit. It actually matches all the stuff in the bathroom now.
Yeah, the first couple ones I bought years and years back were all, I go into... I'm a homeowner looking to replace. My expectation as a kid was the same kind of toilets that most people probably had. My generation, and
well, you had the
things were fucking metal.
Yours was you had the tank that sat up real high with the pull handle.
Yeah,
yeah,
and the lath walls and shit like that.
Yeah,
but I'm expecting metal hardware.
Right,
was not the case. So I'm like, oh, okay. The kids start...
Let's make it cheap and plastic.
Yeah, the young kids who are getting potty trained, who don't know their own... Like, this is a fucking game, and I will slam the poop home, kind of a thing.
Yeah.
I blew through 2 plastic handles.
I blew through. I'm just blowing through handles.
Yeah, epic shit slam yeeting of my toilet handles.
Now, I will say the toilet handle in my bathroom...
Yeah.
It's the original toilet handle that came on the toilet.
Well, good for you and your fucking Toro mower handle.
But it's starting to show signs of wear on the top where the chrome plate is literally wearing off. And I'm like, oh, maybe I need to replace this one too. That's crazy. Like, it's 30.
Yeah.
So like the chrome plating where you would push on it is... starting to show the white plastic inside.
Oh, wow.
And I'm like, oh,
wow.
Shit. We've worn the chrome off of them. How many flushes has it taken over 29 years to wear the fucking chrome off the handle?
That's crazy. Jesus.
What the fuck?
God damn. Take it easy on your flushers.
Well, what do you think I'm doing with it?
Yeah.
Rubbing on it and then flushing it.
Hey, baby. You like that? You like that? You want to make it go bye-bye?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Watch Mr. Squirrely go.
Yeah, look at him go down that
hole. Oh, wait. The water's backing up.
What if I just give you a little bit?
Should I push it a couple more?
Halfway and give you a jiggle? A little jiggle tap? Yeah, baby.
It's amazing to me how many finger touches that's
probably had.
Oh, yeah.
A slip and it didn't make it, so you hit it again.
Or oh, shit.
Yeah. Oh,
yeah.
I'll try again.
Yeah. Funny stuff.
That's pretty funny.
So, yes, the toilet got repaired.
Yeah, good for you.
God damn. Okay, now I have to ask because on PlayStation Network, they do it doesn't matter. Like I have the cheapest yearly subscription, which is the Essential, I think is what they call it.
Sounds right.
And it comes with typically three games that are monthly free games.
Right.
So I'm always excited at the beginning of the month, so I get to find out what the 3 games are going to be.
Right.
This month's okay. Need for Speed, something.
Okay.
And some game I don't even know what it is that I didn't care for when I played it.
Okay.
But the other game was one that I'd never heard of called the Stanley Parable. Are you familiar with this game?
Nope.
I had never heard of it.
Okay.
It's a linear game.
Okay.
So it's I think it's built on the Unity thing, but essentially the whole premise of the game is that you are a guy named Stanley that works in this office. It's the weirdest fucking game I've ever seen.
Okay.
You work in this office and the computer pops up and tells you what to punch on the keyboard.
Okay.
That's your job. Like as the guy at this company, whatever this company is. But the whole thing is it's narrated by a narrator.
Okay.
And the narrator is telling a story of Stanley. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So then one day Stanley comes into the office and the computer's not telling him what to do. It's just sitting there with the cursor, not doing anything. And then Stanley's like, what the fuck's going on?
Mm-hmm.
And he starts to leave his office to figure out what's happening. And no one's around. And he's like, what the fuck?
Okay.
So then what ends up happening is he starts exploring sort of with the narrator the whole time. And it's driven by, you go like down a hall and then you come to a thing and then you're given a choice and the narrator's talking this whole time.
Okay.
And he tells you if you want to go, he basically says, oh, you want to go to the conference room? You take the door on the left. And you can go to the door on the right, but that changes what happens.
Okay. All right.
And so there's all these decisions that you make along the way and modifiers that happen that change what happens. And there's shitloads of different endings, but you have to figure out how to get to them all.
Okay.
It's very bizarre.
Like a choose your own adventure book.
Kind of.
Okay.
Yeah.
But it has an intended goal or intended end? You don't know.
Not as far as I know. It's just, I think the intended goal is to see if you can get to all the different endings there are.
Oh, okay.
There's no score. There's no... I've replayed a couple of things like, oh, did I do this and this and this?
Right.
And then you just see the same thing again.
Oh, okay.
And then... but it's the narrator is like an English guy, so it's got that bit of English humor about it.
Oh, okay.
So there's funny stuff in there a little bit here and there, and he gets mad at Stanley for doing some of the things that he has specifically told you to do the other thing.
Right.
So there's like this sort of thing, and then you're finding things and very bizarre. I'd never heard of it.
How long does it take to go from, like, what is a length of time for a playthrough?
It's fairly quick.
Oh, okay.
It could be as little as 10 minutes.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. To get all the way through. And then it restarts, and then you're back in your office, and then he starts narrating again.
Oh, wow.
And then you go figure out what it is that, what if I do this or that? What if I, and it's, I had never heard of this game. It came out in, gosh, I want to say like 2008 or something. And then they came out with the version that I have, which is the deluxe version.
Okay.
Which I think came out again in 2018. So it's been around. And
so this is January's free games.
One of their free games.
On the Sony PlayStation Network.
Yeah.
Stanley Parable.
The Stanley Parable.
Oh, that sounds interesting.
It's very, I didn't know what to expect. I had no idea. I'd never heard of it. I just launched it and was like, oh, what's this? Oh, this is in it. What am I supposed to do? Oh, okay. And then you just kind of like start cruising around and trying stuff.
Yeah.
And it's interesting. Very interesting. And it won a bunch of awards. Like, I did never have heard of it though. It's been around that long.
Wow.
Anyway, if you have this PlayStation Network and you see the Stanley Parable in the games there, give it a download and just... I can see how it's not for everybody because it can be repetitive. But then also you don't always know what to expect. And there's just sometimes bizarre shit that happens, and you're like, "What the fuck?"
Well, yeah, and at such a short playtime, it's not necessarily something where you'd feel like you're crushing it for hours on end. You could you could stop at any point. Yes.
Yeah, it's a short playthrough, but if you want to get to all the different places or see all the different endings, it's not a short playthrough.
So if you don't get, like, what represents the end?
The theme of this game is the end is not the end, is not the end, is not the end.
Oh.
So it literally, I think you could just keep going forever and ever and ever.
Like if you wanted to go to bed or something though, like how does it pick up where you left off?
It just loads the game, and then even that changes.
Oh, okay.
So when the game loads up, there's different things that happen in the game loading part where the narrator says different shit to you based on stuff that happens.
Oh, wow.
It's pretty amazing.
Interesting.
And the graphics aren't great. It's just like a very basic Unity
engine type of thing.
Engine kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
But it's very well. It seems like it's very well thought out. Very interesting. And in fact, it's I'll tell you one thing that happens is you play through a thing and he's like, well, wait, what the fuck? Like the narrator's like, that's not supposed to happen, kind of a thing. Mm-hmm. Well, what happens if we go backwards? And then he opens the door and you go the other way, and he's like, oh, well, then, And so it's super different from anything I've ever played.
Huh.
Yeah.
That's cool.
So maybe give it a whirl if you're interested in that kind of thing. It very much fascinated. And I'm sitting there playing it and I'm showing the girls like, look at this. This is the weirdest shit. Like, what am I even supposed to do here? You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And it
sounds a lot like, not close. Did you ever play like the Portal games?
The Portal games?
Portal games. It's like you get you shoot a portal, like an entry hole and an exit hole, and you're trying to solve like a puzzle with a level, but you are creating your own gateways to go in and out of a thing. Where there's not the only way it sounds like it's close is that there's not necessarily a 100% single way to solve a puzzle. Like your creativity could solve a way to get from A to B multiple ways. And so
there is a little bit of that, but
this is like in a game where it's not a shooter and you're not doing quests per se. It's like, here's a setting, go nuts.
Yeah.
Kind of thing. I enjoy those kind of things. Like World of Goo is another kind of like build a thing to get a thing from A to B.
Oh yeah.
You could
Lemmings.
Yeah, you could engineer a thing in many different ways to get a thing from A to B. Go nuts.
I have always enjoyed like that. Lemmings game.
That sounds. I think I'm gonna try that.
Yeah, give it a whirl.
It sounds interesting.
I'm curious to know what you think about it because it's pretty nuts. Sometimes you're just like, what the fuck am I supposed to be doing? And some of the playthroughs could take longer than 10 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
They might be 20 or 25, depending on where it is you ended up and what's expected of you in order to get done with whatever you're doing and you figuring it out.
Yeah.
But it's not, there aren't like, as far as I can tell, there aren't puzzles per se, but things that you do could affect what happens when you go and go through the next door. Like you might do something over here and go through the next door. Mm-hmm. Changes based on the fact that you did that thing over there.
Right.
That kind of thing.
Yeah.
So
like sequencing things. Okay.
Yeah.
Very
wild, man. I'm just like kind of blown away by it. And the fact that I'd never heard of it before, of course, I have said it before. I'm not I have never been a huge gamer. So
you only just recently became a gamer.
I wouldn't even call it that.
Listen, fucker.
I mean, I'm playing GTA.
Your hours put into Red Dead Redemption, Destiny, and GTA would disagree.
Well, that's just because I got free time.
Okay.
In the evenings.
Well, now you're filling it with gaming. Bitch.
The girls go to bed early, and then I'm like, well, what? Am I going to watch TV? No.
I'm going to sit out here in my underwear with a Red Bull and a headset and a PlayStation controller and fucking go ham.
Oh, man. I struggle to, set limits to myself and keep those limits.
Yeah.
So that I'm not up too late.
Yeah. Welcome to the show, gamer.
Yeah.
Dipshit. You're a gamer.
Anyway. I know, I got to get back to playing Red Dead, too.
Yeah.
Dude, I picked up Destiny, and I was like, this shit's fucking hard. What the
fuck? Ooh. Okay, speaking of Destiny.
Yeah.
But not. It's Destiny adjacent. The beginning of the year. I'd been kicking around with Zander, Sac Anime. the anime convention that I think there's
the Sacramento Convention Center.
Right.
Yeah.
Some of the tail end of December, I asked Zander. I was reminded by Argonaut and his daughter Mariah. You should get tickets and go to on the 3rd or 4th. I don't remember what day it was. It was after New Year's. Don't forget to get tickets. Go to the thing. So I came home. I told Zander, I'm like, hey, do you want to go to this? He, if you've listened to the show the last year or so, like he's always been Japanese and anime interested, and I've picked up a couple of shows. And if you've listened to the adult version of me, I'm always fascinated with Japanese culture. So I was like, I'm going to go to one of these.
And see what it's all about.
And see what it's all like. Are you interested in this?
So did you book your flights for San Diego already? Is that what we're getting at?
I'm like, do you want to go? And he's like, yeah. I'm like, I'm going to buy tickets. Like, we are going to go like one day.
Was it like $20 or something?
It was 50 actually.
Oh, really?
Because it may have been I'm not 100% if it would have been cheaper if we would have ordered earlier. I had tickets in my cart early and then got distracted with Spoon because I wanted to check to see if Venus actually wanted to go, to see if she would want to go, just to see what Zander and I kind of run at length about talking that it goes over the top of her. I'm like, you go, and I'm like, I have no idea what's there, but it be something that Xander's interested in, and whatever, like why not? I think she was busy, or was kind of like probably playing it more by ear to see whether or not the old guy going, I would stand out or something, or would be awkward, and then I would be able to tell her like, yeah, you didn't do it.
I feel like that's all ages thing.
It is.
Yeah.
So. Because I waited too long to get the pre-order tickets, so we had to go early the day of Saturday and buy our tickets there, and they were $50 a piece. So we park in the parking garage. We're there early because I don't know what it's going to be like as far as population. I've never been to one. I sent a thing to Argonaut. I'm like, hey, man, we didn't get tickets. Like, do you know anything about what it's like to buy tickets the day of? Am I going to be fucked? Like, how early do I need to go to stand in line? He's like, I don't know. I've never had that problem because I'm a prepared dad, and I buy me and my daughter's tickets ahead of time.
Basically, he just said, "You suck."
He's like, "Get fucked."
Yep.
Hashtag sorry, Argonaut. He didn't know because he hadn't had. So I'm like, all right, well, Xander and I will go an hour early. We'll play it by ear. And so I told, we woke up Saturday. I'm like, hey, I don't know how this is going to go. This is on me, though, if I fucked up and I didn't get us tickets. We park. The tickets were in the lobby of whatever the hotel is right next to the Sacramento Convention Center. And as we're walking into this hotel lobby, there is already a fucking line out the block and down, like, and I'm thinking, we're fucked. Like, we're fucked. There's no way. Like, this line is huge. We get in, a very nice kiosk table set up with like a welcome center customer support thing. I walk up, near 50-year-old dude. Like, I've never been to one of these before. I need to buy day of tickets. Where would I do that? And the person was like, oh, super congenial. Like, welcome to the fucking Sac Anime. You're going to go right over here. I'm like, are tickets available? She's like, oh, yeah, you'll be fine. And I went, sweet.
They're like, how many thousand people can we pack in this place?
Right? Yeah. I'm like, would you really turn away someone that's going to... Anyway, so I walk over to the table, clueless fucking idiot with his son behind him. Like, I need to are tickets still available? I need ticket. There was no line to buy tickets. I'm like, yeah, cash or card. I'm like, I just have my card. And like, boop, boop, boop. Handed us a little...
Then he handcuffed you and took you to jail?
Right. Wristbands, and then, programs for the day. events and stuff. So then we walk out towards the huge snaked line, and only to realize that there were 2 entrances. And so when we walked past the end of the first line, there was like another line starting at what we didn't know was the back entrance, a secondary entrance. So it just looked like they had broken up the line through a door to keep door clearance. And I saw someone ask one of the guards that was like our security personnel that was standing at the doors. I'm like, could you tell me which, is this line? And he's like, that's where this line ends. This line is for this door. And I went, is there a difference? And he went, this line is shorter. And I went, sweet. We were maybe 50 feet from the front of the second door.
Okay.
And we were early enough to where it was like, oh, okay.
So were they letting people in already?
Not yet, no.
Oh, okay.
So we were there.
That's the line.
By the time we had bought our tickets, I think it was 9:30, and the doors opened at 10. So we were there early for the doors, and 50 feet from the front of the. Anyway, so it was nice. But what that afforded us, I'm a costume guy. We got to see. These are my people. These are my people.
Right.
And it's all nerd costumes. Now, I didn't recognize most of the anime characters and Japanese culture stuff, but anything that was from the JJK anime series that I've watched with Zander, or Attack on Titan anime series that I just started watching with Zander, or a Demon Slayer anime series that I've watched with Zander, all of those things I would recognize. And God, these people are putting so much creativity into the costumes. Star Wars shit, Mandalorian costumes, Jedi costumes, Minecraft, Nintendo game, Link from Zelda, Princess Peach, Mario, these are my people.
Yeah.
These are my people. And not only am I...
Pikachu.
Yeah. Yes. Tons.
Right.
Not only am I having a moment over the gaming... the batteries went. The gaming culture stuff, but it was also the anime culture stuff. Was like, oh, I get this. These are all my nerd people. It was super fun. Doors open. Shit. Running out of time. The doors open, and it was... tons of Japanese culture convention stuff. So tons of hoodies, like you would see at a market.
Yeah.
But all Japanese anime culture stuff. There were like Gundam models.
So sort of like going to box lunch, but like on steroids with Japanese.
Yes.
Yeah.
Pokemon cards, Funko Pop stuff, Squish stuff.
Squishmallows, yeah.
Stickers. A lot of
collectible things.
Yeah. Like a lot, almost like what did I tell Venus? Like an Etsy store for Japanese culture and anime and gaming stuff.
Nice.
The Destiny tie-in here is that props are a huge thing too in multiple parts, multiple kiosks, and on walls they would have gaming like swords from anime shows or from video games, and guns from like Halo and Destiny.
Oh wow!
So on this one wall.
And you can buy them?
Yes. Yes. On multiple kiosks had them, and I think some vendors were was like a single vendor that was selling in multiple places, because a lot of the guns look the same. But it was a kiosk wall full of Destiny guns. And I went, okay, Zander, come here for a second. I'm like, oh, look, Destiny guns. He's like, oh, yeah. And I went, are you ready? Malfeasance. Ace of Spades, Duke MK44, Thorn, I rattle off every single one of the guns, and he went, "Okay, Dad."
That was weird, Dad.
Yeah, that's a little bit fucking creepy.
I wouldn't know.
Yeah, that's Ace of Spades with the Osiris skin. That's Osiris. I mean, so and then so I take a picture and I send it to Venus. I'm like, "These are our people. Look, Destiny guns." And she's like, "Ooh,
no shit.
Yeah, no shit.
Why didn't you take me?"
We went around, just up and down. I bought a tote bag for Piper that had like a lot of cat stuff, a lot of cute cat shit. I bought a tote bag for Piper. Zander bought a Gundam that we hadn't seen, so a model Gundam. And then we went upstairs where the bulk of the cosplay shit was. They were doing like a contest of like, and most of the stuff this year looked like it was, you may have seen it on Netflix, like it's the Arcane series. It's like an anime. It's a cartoon. Arcane.
I don't know it.
If you see it, that's what it was on
Okay.
Netflix. It's been a huge hit. Arcane. Anyway, multiple people were dressed up as the characters from that show, and they were doing like a photo shoot outside. Fuck. Awesome. Well done to all those people there. I was super impressed. It was super cool, and because it wasn't just anime shit that perhaps Venus wouldn't have understood, there was Destiny stuff and craft stuff and stickers and clothing. I think she would, certainly Piper would have gone. Piper was busy.
Yeah.
Piper was out of town, but Piper would have gone because they also do like talks, like a Hall
Like
H
TED Talk kind of
yeah,
things.
but with voice actors and whatnot.
Yeah.
They had two people from Critical Role, Dungeons and Dragons stuff that were doing like a not a seminar. They were just doing a speak.
Q&A.
Yeah. We're both big fans of the Critical Role actors, and Piper would have gone to that to get either an autograph or just listen to the guys talk about Critical Role and Dungeons and Dragons. I will go next year. I will go. It was.
Don't they have it? I thought they had it a couple times a year.
I think there's one in the summer or early fall, but it may not be with the same fervor.
Different company or
yeah,
something?
it might be just an alternate. Both Mariah and Jason said, like, if you're going to get one, this is the good one. It was awesome. I had a great time. You know, I didn't necessarily spend a ton of shit, but as someone that was like apprehensive of, and the people, it was a super positive experience. You had people of all creeds doing all sorts of dress up. It's a no judgment zone.
Absolutely.
Yeah. That's the biggest takeaway.
Yeah.
It was a no judgment costume skill set of all levels. Some super top notch, some just a young person doing their best to create something that's special to them.
Nice.
God, if you're a fan of games, Japanese culture, anime, cartoon, or cats, this is your cosplay, props, Gundams.
Does anyone dress up as Lego people?
I did not see that, but I saw a Minecraft person that was their fucking blockhead,
right,
with a little floating, with the font that was like dead nuts on a little spring that bobbled. And if you were far enough away, it looked like, dude, the most simplistic costume.
Yeah.
This person was like, I'm like, it looks like,
yeah.
It was super funny.
Nice.
Anyway, super positive experience. I can't recommend going, the price tag is on for a ticket is probably.
Buy it early next time.
Right.
It's probably cheaper.
It probably is.
Yeah.
Probably is.
If you pre-ordered it.
We went on a Saturday. What I thought was a huge ridiculous, it's going to be packed, I'll never get in line, was not the case. There was tons of room. I wasn't like sardine can packed. There was plenty of space. There was plenty to look at, plenty to see. And we didn't even attend one of the talks, which I think Argonaut did with Mariah, and he thought it was awesome. So, and I think we spent maybe an hour and a half going up and down all the aisles and looking at shit and whoa. And then we left. No big deal. It was a super positive experience.
Did you go to Uncle Vito's Pizza?
We did not.
I'm kidding. I'm just kidding.
Or get a Zelda's.
So they're back open again.
Yeah.
Yeah. I got to go back in there. We were going to go, but they were only open for takeout. And we were like, no, that's not going to work.
There's a ramen place in Sac somewhere. Have you ever been to a ramen place in Sac?
We went to Journey to the Dumpling.
Okay, yeah, no. This is
which
like
was phenomenal.
Ramen Underground or something. Zander found it on Instagram and sent it to me, and it looks like even with Japanese kanji characters, like on the outside, it looks like their little silo of a display thing to get into it looks like Tokyo kind of thing. It looks
love
like
that.
And I'm like, fucking and it's ramen and shit downstairs.
I love
I'm
that.
Like, fucking yeah, absolutely.
I love ramen. There's that ramen place over by the theater, Blue Oaks Theater, right on the corner.
Yes,
it's very good.
Yes, we've been.
Yeah,
I've been there. I think at least twice, and Venus and Zander have like one or two up on me.
Yeah,
when I've been out of town.
Impressive.
Yeah. It's amazing.
Delicious.
Yeah.
So,
on that note, you should return the cart.
Wash your ass.
Wash your hands.
Check your oil, Tony.
Stay up to date on your shots.
Make the call if you need to.
Register to vote. Pick up a broom.
Yeah, pick that broom up and do the kindness.
We'll catch you next week.
Thanks for listening, everybody.
Bye.